Torn Curtain is not historically considered a major Hitchcock classic, not one which is overwhelmingly celebrated even today, and to be quite honest, I can see why. Now, I think that Torn Curtain is a thoroughly entertaining film, very smartly directed and displaying evidence of Hitchcock's technical creative bravura rather consistently throughout the runtime. However, let's face it, and most of us probably have, it does not truly compare to Hitchcock's best works of the prior 3 decades to its release. If one feels as though it does, perhaps there is a genuine subjective disposition to be respected in a case like this. However, here's what I would propose, as politely as I possibly can. Torn Curtain benefits from people's lowered expectations now in a way that Hitchcock's more acclaimed films are sometimes underwhelming to younger film fans because of their adulation, because of extremely high expectations. And Torn Curtain was the victim of high expectations then. If it were a non-Hitchcock film, it would be lauded as a lost classic, a refined Hitchcock imitator, not quite Donovan's charade, but an admirable, entertaining piece all the same. Let's look at Torn Curtain. It is an extremely competent, if not slightly straightforward, Cold War thriller romp, with strong, engaging performances, stellar direction, and mostly sharp dialogue. Does it sincerely compare with the likes of Rear Window, North by Northwest, Vertigo, Psycho, Shadow of a Doubt, Notorious Suspicion, I Have a Man Who Knew Too Much, Strangers on a Train, The 39 Steps, or even the later impactful feature, Frenzy? However, I'd be willing to place it personally over similar titles structurally, such as Foreign Correspondent and Saboteur, generally overrated A to B psychodramas slash murder contrivances such as Rebecca and Dial M for Murder, respectively, rather admirable though less rewatchable features such as Stage Fright or even To Catch a Thief, and are superior to some or certain other shaky Hitchcock titles such as the just previously discussed Marnie or the mostly disappointing, though maybe my opinion will change upon, Family Plot, I feel. Celebrated now, Torn Curtain is due to that brutish fight scene between Paul Newman and an East German heavy portrayed by one Wolfgang Keeling, who did defect to East Germany himself, ironically enough, 2 years after Torn Curtain's release. Hitchcock apparently said he wanted a realistic fight scene in his film to demonstrate how difficult it actually would be to take someone's life in such a context, to contrast from other espionage spy films popular at the time. Now, this would be true for much of these films, but remember, the most acclaimed of these films now, From Russia with Love, featured a fight scene between Bond and Robert Shaw, which stands out as extremely rough and rather realistic compared with the films around it, including those in the subsequent Bond titles. Whilst it was not the norm, Hitchcock is more trying to explore an avenue not explored enough in these films, not never explored at all. It might be fair to say that From Russia with Love was the somewhat dark horse compared to the Bond films around it. At that time, not quite the first one, Dr. No, not quite Goldfinger, the Super Smash, or Thunderball, the Goldfinger follow-up. Now it is considered the very best of them, but audiences didn't feel this way at the time. Empire was once considered the dark horse of the original Star Wars trilogy many have claimed from that time. So that's Torn Curtain. I'm a fan, but I prefer several other Hitchcock films, and that's all I can really fault it for, other than being a generally straightforward film to the point of being possibly a touch unmemorable in the long run of one's life. That's all. Hey, once again, thanks very much again.